Derrick Henry has established himself as one of the game's most dominant players, with his unique combination of strength and athleticism. These traits allow him to terrorize opposing defenses each time he laces up his cleats, and have created some all-time highlights and moments. Here are 5 times Derrick Henry went beast mode. 99-yard touchdown run. In the second quarter of a 2018 Thursday Night Football matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titan defense stood tall on 4th and goal from the 1 to preserve a 7-2 lead. Keeping Jacksonville out of the end zone seemingly shifted the momentum Tennessee's way. It also gave Derrick Henry the chance to make history. The star running back fed off that momentum and added to it with one of the most dominant football plays of all time. Henry took a handoff from his own end zone, broke through the line of scrimmage, then gave cornerback A.J. Boye a vicious stiff arm before just tossing aside linebacker Leon Jacobs like a ragdoll, and finally outrunning linebacker Miles Jack for a 99-yard touchdown run. Henry's insane run tied the record for the longest run in NFL history, which Tony Dorsett had previously held alone for 36 years. Going into the play, Henry said, "I told myself to just be patient and let it open up. I'm just getting out of the end zone and getting a positive play. Finish forward." Well, Henry opened things up for himself and certainly got out of the end zone and got a positive play. His run was not only impressive in terms of length, but it was also the way he did it. Henry made NFL defenders look like JV football players. It was the type of play that would lead to someone rage quitting in Madden, which the Jaguars might as well have done after that. Henry gashed them for 238 rushing yards that night, on his way to setting a franchise record for most rushing yards in a game, and the Titans went on to win 30-9. Josh Norman stiff arm. In a Tuesday night football game, yeah, you heard that right, Tuesday night due to COVID-19 issues with the Titans, Tennessee took on the 4-0 Buffalo Bills. More than midway through the second quarter, the Titans had the ball in Buffalo territory, looking to add to their 14-10 lead. On a 2nd and 4 from the Bills' 44-yard line, Ryan Tannehill handed the ball off to Derrick Henry, who bounced it out to the left and was met at the line of scrimmage by Buffalo cornerback Josh Norman. That's when the 6'3", 247-pound running back hit the 200-pound defensive back with one of the most vicious stiff arms in NFL history. With the ball in his left hand, Henry tossed aside Norman with his right and sent him flying into the ground. Henry looked like an older brother who was tired of playing with his younger brother and wanted to teach him a lesson. Reflecting on the play, Ryan Tannehill said, "I screamed, 'Holy crap.' That was unbelievable just to see the way he tossed that guy. That was probably one of the meanest stiff arms I've ever seen, no doubt." Henry was much more nonchalant with his reaction as he said, "I've been doing too many curls. I have to lay off the arms. I'm sure defenders would love if you chilled out in the weight room, Derrick." As exciting as the play was, Henry only gained 4 yards on the run, and it was all actually for nothing as the Bills were offside and the Titans held, so both penalties offset and the down was replayed. Either way, the play electrified Tennessee as they went on to hammer the previously undefeated Bills 42-16, single-handedly beat the Ravens in the playoffs. After going 14-2 in the regular season, the Baltimore Ravens were the favorites to win Super Bowl 54. Led by league MVP Lamar Jackson, it looked like nobody was stopping the Ravens in 2019. Well, insert Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Fresh off a 20-13 win over the New England Patriots in Foxborough in the wild card round, where Henry rushed for 182 yards and a touchdown, the Titans were determined to pull off another shocking upset. Almost nobody gave them a chance against the Ravens, who would look like world beaters all season long. But Tennessee knew as long as they fed Henry, they'd have a shot. They had confidence in Henry, but I can't say they knew he was capable of going beast mode for an entire game against Baltimore. He carried the ball 30 times for 195 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry over an entire game. With 30 carries, that's just crazy. Ryan Tannehill threw the ball only 14 times for just 88 yards, and Henry even helped out in the passing department as he threw a 3-yard touchdown pass. The Ravens knew exactly what the Titans were doing, but couldn't stop it because Henry was on another level. Henry's 195 yards set a franchise record for most rushing yards in a postseason game, and his 204 scrimmage yards in that game also set a franchise record for most in a postseason game. Additionally, he became the first player in NFL history to rush for at least 170 yards in consecutive playoff games. Henry's efforts led the Titans to one of the biggest upsets in recent playoff memory, as they handedly beat the Ravens 28-12. 140 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. The Titans and Indianapolis Colts each came into a 2020 Week 12 matchup with 7-3 records. It was a crucial AFC South divisional matchup that both teams desperately wanted to win. When it comes to big games, you know the Titans' game plan: give Derrick Henry the ball early and often. And that is exactly what Tennessee did in this contest. Henry absolutely went off in the first half, racking up 140 rushing yards on 17 carries and scoring 3 rushing touchdowns as the Titans took a commanding 35-14 lead into the break. Indianapolis had no answer for a locked-in Henry, as he averaged more than 8 yards per carry in the half. That half was a dream or nightmare for fantasy football owners who either had or were going up against him that week. As a result of being so in control, Tennessee gave Henry a bit of a break in the second half. He finished the day with 27 carries for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns, which helped the Titans to an easy 45-26 win. It wasn't like Henry just took advantage of a bad run defense. Coming into that game, the Colts had not allowed a back other than Henry to gain more than 100 yards in a game since the previous season. They also had only allowed 3.47 yards per carry in 2020, which was the 4th best in the NFL. Won the rushing title in style. Going up against the 10-5 Houston Texans in a Week 17 matchup, the 8-7 Titans needed a win to get into the playoffs. The game was also important on a personal level for Derrick Henry, as he entered the game involved in a very tight race with Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns for the league's rushing title. A common theme among most of these beast mode moments from Henry have been that they have come when his team needed him to step up the most. In important games, the Titans lean on him heavily, battling for the rushing title. This Week 17 game against the Texans, being a must-win for Tennessee, worked in Henry's favor. With the Titans leading 28-14 with just over 3 minutes to play in the game, Tennessee was looking to ice the game, so of course, they gave the ball to Henry. The running back took it 53 yards to the house as he sealed not only the game, but also the rushing title. The 53-yard scamper sent Henry over the 1,500 rushing yard mark with 1,540 and put him ahead of Nick Chubb's 1,494 rushing yards. It was a beast mode moment from another career game by Henry as he rushed the ball 32 times for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day. He carried the Titans to a 35-14 victory that clinched their spot in the playoffs. So, what do you guys think? Where does Derrick Henry rank among the all-time best running backs in the NFL? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Maybe turn on post notifications while you're at it. As always, you're watching Nonstop Sports. We'll catch you next time.